Okay, so you're probably listening to this because, well, you've had a heart attack and now life insurance is something you need to figure out,
Yeah,
which honestly is probably the last thing on your mind after going through something like that.
absolutely.
But we're going to do a deep dive into it today and hopefully come out of it with a bit more clarity.
Yeah,
And thankfully, we have some great info from diversified insurance brokers to help us out.
definitely they're experts in this and they've got some good stuff here.
All right, so to start off, I think a lot of people in this situation might assume that getting life insurance after a heart attack is just like impossible.
Yeah, I can see that.
But is that true?
Actually, no, not at all. I mean, it definitely makes things a bit more complicated,
Mm-hmm.
but it's definitely not a dead end. You can still get coverage.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So how do insurance companies even begin to assess the risk for someone who's had a heart attack?
Well, they kind of look at it like a puzzle. They're
Okay,
trying to put together a bunch of different pieces of information to get a complete picture.
gotcha.
So first they want to know how severe your heart attack was, like how
Mhm.
much damage did it actually cause to your heart.
Right.
Then they're looking at how long ago it happened,
Okay.
and of course your treatment history.
So like stents and stuff.
Exactly, stents, medications, if you had bypass surgery, all that goes into the mix.
Okay, so they're really trying to get your handle on the heart attack itself?
Exactly. Well, they're also factoring in your current heart health.
Hmm,
Like, what's your blood pressure? Like, how's your cholesterol? Are there any other issues going on?
makes sense.
And then lifestyle choices come into play.
Oh yeah, that's got to be huge.
Huge. Yeah. They want to know if you smoke, what your diet's like, if you exercise regularly.
I'm guessing they're not big fans of smokers.
Not particularly.
And probably love those marathon runners.
You got it.
So it sounds like they're looking at the heart attack, but also like everything else too.
Exactly. It's about your overall health profile.
So if someone, let's say they had a heart attack, but they've really turned their life around since then,
hmm
they're eating healthy, they're exercising, they quit smoking. Does that make a difference?
Absolutely. It can make a big difference. For
Or is-
example, let's say someone quits smoking, adopts a healthy diet, starts exercising regularly.
Hmm.
They could see a significant improvement in their rate category.
Compared to someone who didn't make those changes.
Exactly.
Wow. So those healthy habits really do pay off.
In more ways than one.
Okay, so once the insurance company has like all this info, how do they actually decide on a rate category?
So they take all those pieces of the puzzle,
Uh-huh.
they use it to assess your risk, and based on that, they'll assign you to a specific rate category.
Okay, so walk me through some examples.
Sure. So let's say someone had a mild heart attack. They've recovered well and they're living a healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
They might qualify for standard rates or maybe slightly higher.
So that's like the best case scenario?
Pretty much, yeah. But on the other hand, if someone's had multiple heart attacks,
Okay.
or they have ongoing heart disease, or they've had recent procedures,
Uh-huh.
then they're probably looking at a higher rate category.
Gotcha. So the more serious the situation, the higher the rates.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the different types of life insurance.
All right.
I know there are a few options out there.
Yep, there are three main ones.
Okay.
Fully underwritten, a simplified issue, and guaranteed issue.
So fully underwritten, that's where they really dig deep.
Pretty much, yeah. You get the best rates with this type, but you have to go through a medical exam.
Yeah, makes sense.
Simplified issue is a bit easier.
How so?
Well, you don't need a medical exam,
Oh, nice.
but you will have to answer some health questions.
Uh-huh.
And the premiums are usually a bit higher than fully underwritten policies.
Okay, I see. And then what about guaranteed issue?
That one's pretty straightforward. You're automatically approved,
No matter what.
no matter what.
So no medical exam, no health questions.
Exactly, but it's the most expensive option, and there might be a waiting period before the benefits actually kick in.
So some people might look at guaranteed issue and think it's kind of a ripoff.
It really depends on the individual situation. You know, for some
Right.
people, guaranteed issue is the only way they can get coverage, and in those cases, it gives them peace of mind.
Right.
But if you can qualify for other types of policies, those are usually worth exploring first.
So it's kind of like a last resort.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, great. We've covered a lot of ground here. Any other expert tips for navigating this whole life insurance thing after a heart attack?
I think the biggest thing is just to remember that knowledge is power. You know, the
Yeah.
more you understand about how life insurance works and what factors affect your rates, the better decisions you can make.
Right. And if you're feeling overwhelmed,
Definitely talk to an expert.
exactly.
An experienced insurance broker can be a huge help.
Yeah, like the folks over at Diversified Insurance Brokers.
Exactly. They know the ins and outs of all this stuff and can really help you find the right policy for your needs.
They can probably answer any questions you have too, right?
Oh, absolutely. And explain all that fine print that nobody likes to read.
So to everyone listening, we've reached the end of our deep dive today, but it's just the beginning of your journey, you know?
Hopefully.
Now that you understand more about life insurance after a heart attack, what questions do you still have?
Yeah, write those down.
Exactly. Write them down, keep researching, and talk to a financial advisor or a broker to get personalized advice.
Good advice.
Because remember, this isn't just about policies and numbers.
It's about taking care of your loved ones.
Exactly. And that leads me to a final thought. How can this knowledge actually empower you to take control of your health and well-being going forward?
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider, but hopefully this deep dive has given you a good starting point. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.